Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're ready to jump into the world of data science using Python, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to walk through the essential first steps to get you on your way. So let's get right into it.
And you know what? It's true. Starting anything new, especially something like this, can feel like you're standing at the bottom of a huge mountain. But don't worry. The whole point of this explainer is to break it all down into small, totally manageable pieces, so you can build a really solid foundation, one step at a time. So let's start with what this is all about, your data science journey. We're going to approach this by thinking about how we can turn that spark of curiosity you have into some seriously powerful skills. Okay, up next, building your coder's toolkit. Look, before we can write a single line of code, we have to set up our environment. Think of it as our digital workshop. It all boils down to three really simple steps. First, you just got to get Python installed on your system, whether you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Second, and this is a big one, especially for you Windows users, make sure you check that little box that says Add Python to Path. Trust me, it's going to save you so many headaches down the road. And finally, you'll install Jupyter Notebook. It's this awesome interactive tool that lets you write and run code in little chunks, and it's probably going to be your go-to workspace for a while. Now, while Jupyter is amazing for getting started, a lot of pros use what's called an integrated development environment, or an IDE, like PyCharm. It just supercharges your whole workflow. And hey, you can even personalize it with different themes to really make your coding space your own. It's all about creating an environment where you actually enjoy working. All right, with our toolkit ready to go, it's time to actually learn the language. We're going to kick things off with the most basic, but also the most powerful concepts in Python, how it actually stores and handles information. So, the easiest way to think of a variable is just as a labeled box. You can put stuff in it. You might put a number in that box, and then later on, you can decide to take that number out and put a piece of text in there instead. And that flexibility, that's what we call dynamic typing. And honestly, it's one of the big reasons Python is so awesome for beginners. Now, you can't just name these boxes anything you want. There are a few simple rules you gotta remember. As you can see, they have to start with a letter or an underscore. You can't have any spaces or weird special characters, and you can't use a word that Python has already reserved for itself. Just follow these and your code will stay clean and professional.
Okay, data science is all about crunching numbers, right? So you've got to know your math operators. This table shows three really important ones you'll see all the time. Floor division just gives you the whole number part of a division. Modulo gives you the remainder. And the double asterisk is for exponents, raising a number to a power. You're going to be using these constantly.
All right, next up, structuring data and making decisions. So we know how to store individual little bits of information, but what's next? Well, now we're going to see how Python organizes that info and even uses it to think. First up, we've got strings. That's just a fancy word for text in Python. Now, the single most important thing you have to remember about strings is that they are immutable. What does that mean? It means once you create a string, you can't change it. You can't edit it. You can only make a brand new one. Now compare that to lists. Lists are containers that hold a sequence of items, and they are the complete opposite of strings. They are mutable. This means you can change them all you want, add new items, remove old ones, or swap things out. That flexibility is just incredibly powerful. So understanding this difference is absolutely crucial, and this analogy just illustrates it perfectly. Think of an immutable string like a signed contract. It's set in stone. A mutable list, on the other hand, is like your grocery list. You can keep adding and crossing things off as you go. Okay, this is where the magic really starts to happen. This is where your code starts to think. By using if, elif, which is short for else if, and else, you can tell your program to make decisions. It can check if something is true and then run different pieces of code depending on the answer. This is really the foundation of all logic in programming. We've set up our tools, we've learned the building blocks, and we've even taught our program to think. So what's next? Now we put it to work. Loops are how we unleash the real power of Python to do thousands of tasks for us, automatically. And this right here is your essential loop toolkit. The for loop is your absolute workhorse. It just goes through all the items in a list, one by one. But you've also got other handy commands, like break and continue, that give you much finer control, letting you build some really powerful and efficient automations. And hey, here's a fantastic pro tip from the source material. Make learning fun. Seriously, if you practice these concepts with topics you're already passionate about, whether it's the Avengers or your favorite sports team, the information is going to stick in your brain so much faster.
So you might be thinking, okay, variables, loops, lists, why does all of this matter? Well, it's because these fundamental skills are the launchpad. They are the bridge that takes you from just learning the basics to achieving some real breakthroughs with data. Seriously, every single concept we've talked about so far is the backbone of real-world projects. Whether it's something big, like helping a hotel chain understand why they're losing business, or something personal, like building a tool to track your own expenses, it all starts right here, with these fundamentals. And this is the payoff. This is what it's all about. Using these Python skills, you can take a messy pile of raw numbers from something like an expense tracker and turn it into a clear, powerful insight like this one, a simple chart showing that rent makes up more than half of your entire budget.
And at the end of the day, that's really what being a data scientist is all about. It's not just about writing code. It's about using that code to find the story that's hidden in the data. It's about moving from raw, messy information to clear insights that people can actually use to make better decisions. And believe me, your journey doesn't stop with the basics. Once you've really mastered these, a whole new world of professional-level tools opens up. You'll get into things like automatically validating data, pulling information directly from websites, and working with huge, complex database systems. This is the path from beginner to pro.
So, there you have it. We've walked through the essential first steps. You've got the map, and you've got the tools. The only question left is, where do you want to go? What kind of problem do you want to solve? What will your first project be?